Hello, world. What's going on? This is Coach Tara over here in Enosburg Falls, Vermont, and I had quite the interesting day so far. I know it's already after 3 o'clock, but let me tell you something. I'm going to talk about prospecting today. I'm going to talk about how Ray Higdon blew my mind when it came to prospecting today, and how it's going to change my freaking life and my business, and hopefully change your freaking life and your business too. He was doing the age-old debate today in the Rank Makers group about whether or not you should become a, rapport-building prospector. Make sure that's shut all the way, please. Should you be focusing on rapport building all the time, or should you be more of the get-to-the-point kind of person? Now, I have always, in my network marketing career, felt very... I wanted to teach people to be rapport builders. And I even host a weekly power hour that was designed to help people become good rapport builders. And it's interesting. Let me go ahead and just give you my little shindig. My personal professional experience comes from primarily in my life up until I was 30 years old. I was in the hospitality industry. Okay? In the hospitality industry, it's really important to be able to build a lot of rapport with your customer right off the bat, whether they're sitting at your bar, whether they're sitting at your table, whether they're online waiting for a sandwich to be made. It doesn't matter. Building rapport with them is really important. At the same time, getting to the point is also really important. But building rapport is what builds the tips. And I made great tips doing that. And being able to build rapport with people and make people feel really comfortable no matter what's going on in their day. Just being the person that, just turns it all around. That used to be my goal. My goal was to turn everyone's day around to an awesome day and get them happy and get them partying and get them feeling good, even if they're just waiting for a half a pound of bologna. Okay. Now, what happened was 29 years old, and I wasn't making a whole bunch of money. I had moved up to Portland, Maine, and the way that the tip earning there was very different than where I grew up. And a really good day there was a really bad day where I grew up. Okay, so rapport building there was a little bit different, and things were just a little bit different. I ended up going out with this guy Wayne. He was awesome. He was totally not my type. I mean, I usually liked blue-collar guys, guys with calluses on their hands and that worked really hard and all that fun stuff. And this guy was totally a white-collar guy. And I started dating him, and he was awesome. And I was like, whoa, this guy's awesome. One day, listen to this. I'm telling you, stick it out with me, guys. I'm telling you. One day, he got fired from his job. And I was like, okay, oh well, go get another one, whatever. And he got really upset. He kind of like locked himself off for like 2 weeks. He was like totally, you couldn't even talk to him. And I found out from one of his friends that he was really upset. And I said, well, why is he so upset? Just go get another job. Like, what's the problem? It's not, if you want a job, it's not hard to go get a job. And the guy turned around to me and said, he just lost a lot of money and I'm like, what do you mean he lost a lot of money? He said, well, all other jobs that are like his, the starting salary is completely different than where he was. And he was earning 6 figures a year being a plumbing supply rep for a construction company, like a plumbing supply business. Okay, selling unsexy things like washers and knobs and stuff and U-joints and whatever, copper piping. He's like, everybody else at the competition, they start at like $36,000 a year. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even make $36,000 a year. I couldn't imagine making $36,000 a year. Now, I was able to do that when I lived back in Montauk, but the cost of living was, whoa. So you didn't feel like you were making anything. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, he was making 6 figures at this job, and he lost it, and now he's going to have to go out there. He's going to lose about $60,000 a year. He's going to have to go out there and start somewhere from scratch, and they're not going to pay him what he's worth. And I said, my God, it got me really freaked out and made me upset. I was like, what is going on with this? I had no idea that my boyfriend was had that kind of income and was that influential. And I was just like, what's going on? So I decided that for my 30th birthday, I was going to get myself a sales position job, and I started working at this awesome car dealership called Lee Automalls in Westbrook, Maine. It's a statewide company. Like, I worked at the Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Westbrook, Maine, and I absolutely loved the job, and I learned a whole bunch of things. But I brought this thing with me that I didn't realize was not the best skill set to be bringing to that job. Yeah, restaurant people and hospitality people should be able to transition relatively easily into a sales position because it is a sales job. The thing is that I went in there trying to make everybody feel good and building rapport. And even though I was the only woman in the place and I should have had just a novelty alone, should have been able to sell 15, 20 cars a month, I couldn't. I was, our quota was 11 in order to keep our jobs, and I oftentimes never even came close. But the thing that I had on my side was, and maybe it hurt me, I don't know, was I helped people feel really good. And I also helped people's business go really smoothly. So the rainmakers, I would help their deals go smoothly when it was really busy and I couldn't catch it up and I couldn't catch anybody to, even want to talk to me about a car. I would make sure that the trades got brought over to the used car guy and I'd bring them down. I would switch them out. I'd make sure the new car got brought into service so that it would have a detail. And I would help the rainmakers, the people that were getting it done, make their car deals go easier. And how that served me was, come the end of the month, if I hadn't hit my goals, they were more than happy to throw a couple of deals my way and appeal to the general sales manager and appeal to the owner. We really need tire around here. And one of them, my favorite, Jamie Hoglin, he took me under his wing completely there. And he said to me, "You're just too nice to people." And he used to say that. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're just too nice to people. And you've got to learn." And I couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't figure it out until today. And it's funny because Ray reminds me of Jamie. And so there I go. I move up to Florida, or down to Florida from Maine. And I get involved in another company that's very similar to Lee. It's called Furman. Furman owns Nissan, BMW, Chevy. And I started working at the Tarpon Springs Chevy plant. Or place, and we went through training just like we did at Lee, which was awesome, top-notch sales training, unbelievable. And we went down to Tampa for the training. I did the training. The guy loved me. He was like, "Holy moly!" He's like, "You're going to own this place. You'll be a partner within 5 years. You'll own this place. You'll own one of your things. You'll go right past sales manager." And I'm like, "Wow, thanks for feeling that way about me." I love that people always feel really good about me, and makes me feel good, right? So. Fast forward a couple of months later, and there I am in 96-degree weather, wearing, my uniform or my outfit or whatever it is that I had to wear, and usually something that's way too hot, standing out on the lot, waiting for ups or prospects, people to come and take a look at cars. And he came, and he was like, "What on earth are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm doing my job. I have to be out here. I'm not allowed to not be out here. I can't just, sit at my desk and shit. I got it." And he was like, "But you should be working a deal. You should be working a deal." He was like, "I don't understand what's going on. I figured by now your name would be on the, Furman and Tara, what's going on?" And he went and talked to the general sales manager, and he said, "That girl can't sell a car to save her life." And he couldn't understand. And what I remember very clearly about it is I used to spend a lot of time building rapport with people. And then what I would actually find out is that they would all of a sudden be selling a car. They'd be buying a car from somebody else. And it wasn't like in Maine where my name went on a deal if I was the one that started that deal. Somebody else had to finish it. I went on the front. They didn't do that. If you couldn't close them, you didn't get them. Period. So I found that happening to me a lot there. And it was very discouraging, and it wasn't the same kind of company. I didn't have a draw to be able to pull money from and make my bills get paid. So I was basically working for free 70 hours a week and not very good at it. And I could not grasp this. And I am now 45. Okay. I was 33 then. That was 12 years ago. Fast forward to network marketing. And I have brought the same habit that I brought with me from the hospitality industry, the rapport building. And not that it's a bad habit. I'm not going to say that it isn't. And some people can and will, reach huge incomes and top ranks in their business and whatnot. um, using rapport building. However, there's a slight difference, and they get to the point a little bit faster. Now, what Ray was talking about today just hit me in so many different directions. Like my head was bobbing back. I didn't even know. I felt like I was in a boxing match and I was getting my ass kicked. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? What's going on here? Oh my gosh. And he was describing, he was like the rapport builder, even though there are some that do make it to the top. It's not duplicatable. That's number one. That's a problem, especially in this industry when you're building teams and creating leaders. Number two, it feels really good, but it doesn't necessarily get you the results that you want and the speed that you need to have them so that you can build your business and become the influence on the world that you really want to become. You could be nice to 50 people a month and not achieve the kind of influence that you need to achieve in order to make the kind of impact that you really want to make on the world. So if you don't ever get to the question, or you spend a lot of time with small talk, you're not getting it done. You're not doing yourself a favor. And he went on, he was like, now the person that gets right to the point, it may not feel great all the time. It may not even, you might get a lot of no's. You might get a lot of people tell you to kiss your butt and all this fun stuff. He was like, but you will get more yeses because the people that are of influence, the kind of people that you want to attract to your business and make part of your team, are going to appreciate the fact that you got to the point. And you know what's really funny about this? As somebody that I am on a couple of people's chicken list, okay? There is nothing more annoying to me outside of, no, this is even more annoying than the dropping the link in my inbox thing. That bothers me. Nothing more annoying to me than somebody giving me a bunch of small talk in chat and never getting to the point when I know why they're there. Especially because on my personal profile, I'm very open. I'm very open. You can tell what it is I enjoy to do. You can tell how I spend most of my time. You can tell that my granddaughter is the light of my life. You can see where I used to live, where I'm from, and where I live now. So there's not a lot of small talk people could be making with me without me saying, why don't you just go look at my profile? That's why I always teach people to look at people before they talk to them and don't ask questions that you can learn from their profile. Okay? I don't like the small talk. So why am I using it and teaching it to people when it's not as effective as being a person to the point? So my mind is absolutely blown. Everything that I've ever thought of and done before, I just can't even. Now, I'm not going to knock rapport building because I'm still going to build rapport. However, I'm not going to build rapport for months. I'm not going to see, and it happens to me still, just like it did back in Furman and it did back at Lee Automall. I'm not going to watch people say yes to someone else because I didn't have the guts to ask the stinking question. You can't hide behind how are the kids. You can't hide behind that. If you really are interested in helping those people with their children, then you will say, are you open? That's just evident to me now. I watch that Daily Ray in the Rank Makers group and I'm freaking right out because you know what, guys? I want you to do this for yourself. I want you to test it out this week. If you're not prospecting, you're not in business, okay? Not in this kind of business. If you are prospecting, how is it that, analyze how you go about it. If you are always if you're throwing people links, stop. Your job is to see if people are open. And then if they are, your job is to facilitate the rest of the steps. If you are throwing links in there, stop doing that. If you're taking a lot of time building rapport and you're not getting to the question, you really want that person, either to become a customer or a business builder with you, then you need to get to the point. You need to ask them. You can continue to build a rapport after no and after yes. Don't leave rapport out of the equation. No, don't do that. Bring rapport to after the question. You're going to build a better team. Your teammates are going to how many people enroll people and just leave them? If you're going to build rapport after the yes, you're going to build a team that's never going to leave you. Okay? So there's a time and place for that, and I really think that you should at least put this to the test this week. I know the next time you see me sending you a message, I'm going to be asking you if you're open. And if you're not, I'm going to be totally cool with that. But I'm no longer going to lay back and wait for someone to ask me if I have a business they can become part of. I'm no longer going to sit back and wait for somebody to ask me what kind of products I'm using. I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to help people. And if they say no, I'm going to keep building rapport with them. And if they say yes, I'm going to keep building rapport with them. But I'm not going to make that the primary focus of my prospecting. I have a business to build. I have a granddaughter to self-educate. I'm homeschooling her. I need to be able to do that without going out there and having to go get a job. I got bills to pay. You know, I've got dreams. I've got people I want to help. You know, think about Hurricane Irma, and we got another one coming up to cook. I would like to be the kind of person that could say, you know what, guys, network marketers who can't get out of the state, let me know. I'm going to be renting 3 buses, and I'm going to be putting people on it. And there's going to be a bus for people with their pets, and I'm going to put you up in a mansion, and we're going to hold some sort of event. We're going to do this together. I'm going to help you get out of there. Because you know how many people didn't leave Florida because they couldn't? Literally had to lay their life on the line because of the lack of income. Because 90% of Americans don't even have $500 for an emergency. Me laying back and being wishy-washy about my prospecting isn't helping any of those people at all. So, with that being said, I'm out of here. As you can see, it's made a huge impact on me. I'm so serious. And may you have the most profitable prospecting week. Oh my God, I think I got bit by something. I don't know. I hope it wasn't a spider. And check out my lavenders. Aren't they awesome? Can't even handle how much I love them. I got these from a parent last year. An awesome, awesome parent from one of the kids that I helped out in school. Charlie and Kim. Love them. So, with that being said, I am out of here. Go for it, guys. Go for it, guys. I love you very much. Peace.